Hello, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office. Today I'm going to be covering a couple of useful items if you're into arts and crafts, or perhaps you have the need to sometimes repair the paintwork on your car. I'm of course talking about small airbrushes. So we'll just jump straight in. There's two kinds you can buy. Well, there's probably many, but this is a sort of traditional kind of airbrush with the glass jars and a sort of brass nozzle. We'll get that out of the box in a moment. The one that I've already got out of the box that you can probably buy in a local store like B&Q, called Spraycraft, and this is the propellant that comes with it, and this is the unit itself. It's got a very nice sort of silicone tube, so you won't really damage that. It's got a valve on the end to connect to that can of propellant. I believe it comes with some adapters, so you might be able to put that into a tire on, a spare car tire. It comes with two jars. Okay, a little one and a bigger one. Now, these are great just to have small jars. You've seen the bigger airbrushes, but if you're doing work on cars, you only really need a tiny amount of paint and a tiny amount of lacquer or top coat. This is about as much as you ever will need. As you think, with this much lacquer, you could probably paint a couple of doors. Okay, right, so how this works. These jars have a plastic nozzle on the top with a hole in it. I don't know if you won't be able to see the hole. No, not really. There's a little hole in the top of that. And what that does is, by Venturi action, again, I'll try to get to focus for you. There you go. By Venturi action, you can see that the air will pass out of this metal nozzle across the top of this plastic one, and it will draw paint out of the jar via the plastic tube that's inside it. Okay, so that's your valve control, and adjusting this ring will change the spray pattern for you from a wide spray pattern to a narrow one. Oh yeah, and just one other point as well. You can twist the jar up and down to lock it further into this holder, and that also plays with the flow. So all in all, this is actually quite easy to use. What I can do is I'm going to put a little bit of water in this jar. Just check it hasn't got anything toxic in it left. No. If you're using any sort of car paints and things, it's always good to rinse out these jars with a very good thinners, some sort of cellulose-based thinners, xylene, something like that. Okay, I'm going to pop the jar back in with the water on it. We're going to hook up our airbrush propellant. It's feeling a bit light now, might have to get another one soon. Okay, so you can hear that. So there we go. So you can see there's nothing actually happening here, but I'm twisting the jar up, and at some point, there we go. See, it started to draw the water across the top. And that's it. Nice and simple and wet. Okay, so that's the one kind. These are pretty good. These are relatively cheap. They are plastic, but I've used it several times. It seems to do the job. Look at that. I didn't even know that you could do that. You can actually clip and unclip that whole assembly. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but you can. Brilliant. Okay, so let's move on to the other kind. Just so you know as well, these do come with cleaning kits and a nice little cap that not only protects the nozzle, but lets you store that liquid in the jar. Probably for a couple hours it would be okay without blocking something up. Okay, we'll just release that gas. Just screws on brass thread. And now we're going to have a look inside this. This is a Nielsen one. So I think this are the Spraycraft you'd have to check out what the latest price is, but I think it was probably about £30. This Nielsen one, I think was bought in a car boot sale, was about £8, £9, something like that. So it's a lot cheaper, but that doesn't mean it's less good. Okay, so inside the box we have a, again, silicone type air pipe with two, it looks like two adapters. One adapter for the gas bottles, as we've seen, and this is a larger one, which I think you could connect straight to a sort of air compressor. The pen itself, the brush itself, yeah, it's got the adjustment button on the top. You can adjust the venturi by moving this brass ring back and forth. Okay, you can just about see the ring moving. Okay. Okay, and we've got a nice large anti-tip bottle in it, and a little smaller bottle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this up so that we can use the smaller bottle that came with it and test that spray pattern again. So I'm going to just fill that with some water. Okay. Pop that on. And just before we fit that into the sprayer, I'm just going to attach the cord, or the tube rather, that came with it. Okay. That's great. What's nice on this unit is that the needle that pierces the can, or rather presses on the valve in the can, is actually adjustable. So what this allows you to do is to fit the can without any loss of air. Okay, so you can fit the can. This will depress the valve inside the can. So you didn't hear any hiss at all because nothing's being wasted on this unit. Okay, plug your little pot of paint in there, and then just depress the button. Right away you can see this producing a lovely spray. Now, yeah, sort of smell the propellant there. I have to admit the spray pattern on this one is brilliant. It's very fine. Look, you can adjust it by this twisting this brass nut. It's very fine. I think for the money, I would definitely go for this one. I mean, it has brass fittings, very easy to clean, far more superior valve. I mean, let me just show you. Okay, so you can take the whole can off without virtually any loss of propellant. So that'll last a lot longer, and they're quite expensive. Just playing with it here. Right, so there's plenty of guides on the internet on how to use these, so you can take your choice. I think either will do the job for you. If you wanted something that will probably last a bit longer, I would think this far cheaper Poundland sort of style unit. There's a sort of variety of tools in the UK. Some of them are Black Spur and Rolson. I should class this as one of them. The box says Nielsen. I've never heard of Nielsen, but you could try eBaying it. And this is more of a generic B&Q type superstore unit. Okay, so hopefully this will have been of use for you in your painting projects. Thanks for watching.